Welcome into Celtics post-game line presented by your New England Ford dealers and Ford trucks. Scal, Perk, Amina Smith here with you. The Celtics with a dominant win in Game 4 against the Miami Heat, 102-82. And the Celtics, they went on an 18-1 run in this first quarter and did not look back. And Perk, I told you before we came up live that plane ride back is going to be very silent for the Miami Heat.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. What are you going to think about, right? Like, you come in here, Game 3, you get a solid win. You almost blow the lead, right? And then all of a sudden, the Celtics come back and they give you a spanking and give you no sign of hope. Like, if you're the Miami Heat, what adjustments do you make?
No, you don't make adjustments, but you bring a sense of physicality. And it's up to the Celtics. They take care of the ball, they rebound, they do what they're supposed to do. They should win this series. But we've been on the roller coaster ride, Perk, and the roller coaster ride of a good 3 quarters, a bad 1 quarter. Celtics right now, throughout this game, they stomped on the Heat early on. And this direction of this game, the Heat tapped out, Perk. They tapped out. But the question would just be, if the Celtics play 48, take care of the ball, rebound, how do they lose this series?
They don't lose this series. That's why I got them picked to win, Scal. I don't know about you, but I think I got them winning in 7, but the way they look tonight, and I think Jayson Tatum, he has to get on that plane tomorrow when they leave to go down to Miami and saying, I have to have a follow-up game.
100%.
And be consistent.
Yeah, and then that first quarter was historically bad for this Miami Heat team. Let's take a look at the numbers, and they were not good for them goons down in the 305. Some historically bad stats. They went the first 8 minutes of this game with only 1 point. And when you take a look at it, Scal, just kind of what held the Heat back in this matchup? Was it more so the Celtics or the Heat kind of beating themselves up?
I thought Perk nailed it at halftime. I think Robert Williams had a huge impact. Every time they went to the basket, they were keeping their eye on Robert Williams everywhere he was at. I think they rebounded the ball, and they took care of the ball. It's really, like, when you're this much better, it's not a complicated game.
Yeah.
You space, you play fast, you take care of the ball, you rebound, you take care of business. It is alarming how much better they look when they do those things.
I agree. But I can't sing enough praises about the unsung hero and Al Horford.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way that he cleaned up the boards, protecting the paint, playing with that tenacity. And we talked about it pregame. Rob Williams helped him, right? Tom Lloyd was there to have that security blanket. But to me, Al Horford took it personal when it came to that matchup.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, you nailed it. Bam Adebayo was the best player in Game 3. Al Horford said, enough of that. And you called it. He did it against Giannis. He had his chance when he did it against Durant. He's not going to balk at Bam Adebayo. So, look, I mean, for anybody out there watching, I think nationwide here, the fans, whatever, you have to think, man, this team is so much better than the other team. Yeah, it's tied 2-2.
So what you're saying is I'm always right.
No, I'm not saying you're always right.
See, that's what
You were right in this one. You said Bam was going to no-show. He no-showed. You said Al was going to make sure that happens, and that's what happened.
And here's a look at just how bad Miami was in that first quarter. Miami, 11 points, the fewest in the first quarter in team playoff history in the Heat. They missed their first 14 field goals when the Celtics went on an 18-1 run, and Miami 1 point, like I mentioned, through the first 8 minutes are the fewest in playoffs in the last 25 years. Let's take a look at those highlights from that first quarter presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. And Perk, it was like the Celtics team, they put their foot on the necks of the Miami Heat and did not look back. Just what made them so dominant?
Well, I just think they came out and they were playing boxes and elbows, and everything was contested. Game rebounds, you watching guys fight up over screens, you watching guys just be aggressive. I mean, you could tell Ime Udoka preached physicality over these last couple of days, and that's what they did. And again, getting Robert Williams back, it gives those guys around the perimeter that chance to push up and press up, knowing that they have their safety net to guard them.
I thought they came out with a physical mindset, and that was both ends of the floor. You saw a few times when they were driving, they take that shoulder and slam it into the Miami Heat. And it looked like early, the Miami Heat wasn't about it. Today, they're a tough team. They got their win. You knew they were going to come out and fight. Today, they didn't like they were about that life.
I agree. And then it's Jayson Tatum. Like, every time Jayson Tatum decides to play mean, it's a different ball game. And I'm talking about like it's a smackdown where it's almost borderline child abuse when he comes and have it on his mind to go out there and be in attack mode. And see what happens is when he comes with this type of passion, firing up the fans, getting downhill, getting into his bag, everybody else start to feed off of him because they love this version of Jayson Tatum.
Well, the defense keys on him. So if he does get downhill, he's going to draw two. You see some of these, he's scoring on two. But a lot of times, remember, Celtics 10 offensive rebounds in that first half. That's because Tatum's getting downhill. Derrick White was getting downhill. And that opened up so many good things for the Celtics.
And Jayson Tatum, just like you mentioned, he is about that life. 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Perk, just how much more aggressive did Jayson Tatum look in tonight's matchup versus Game 3?
I mean, he looked like he had to bounce back, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. We don't need no more bounce back games. Like, we want some follow-up games. Yeah. We want this Jayson Tatum, the same focus he had coming into this game. I want him with that same focus when he getting on that plane to go to Miami tomorrow when he touched down in South.
And they should be motivated. You want to be able to have an opportunity to close this thing out in Game 6. You don't want to have to go down. Game 7, you never know what's going to happen. So this becomes a one-game series. You've got to take care of business down in 5, and you have an opportunity, you know, with the fans and the crowd and everything, you have an opportunity to close out the Miami Heat in your own building.
With this series tied now 2-2, everyone keeps talking about how much better the Celtics are than the Miami Heat. But Perk, just specifically, what makes this Celtics team better than the Heat right now?
Well, one, to me, they're more athletic. And when I look at their starting 5 when healthy, when Marcus Smart is in that lineup, they have the best defensive starting 5 in the league. And then you start to see guys like Grant Williams and Peyton Pritchard step up to the plate. Like we was begging early in the season for Peyton Pritchard to get more minutes,
For sure, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they got rid of the guy that they should have never bought him in the get-go, and Dennis Schroeder got rid of him, and then Peyton Pritchard stepped right on in because he fits the culture. The guys love him. Grant Williams, he gets his opportunity, and all of a sudden he's becoming one of the better 3-and-D guys in the NBA.
Amina, we're bigger at every position.
Right.
You know, you could probably argue the Jimmy Butler thing, but I think we're bigger at every position. We guard, we shoot, and we move the ball. Like, they have guys, they have specialists, they have some guys that could get exposed, they have some guys that don't shoot the 3 at a high clip. The Celtics across the board, defensively, all the stuff that Perk talked about, and then offensively, you're talking about guys that space, guys that get downhill, guys that make elite decisions, and guys that can let it fly.
All right, well, let's send it down to Abby Chin right now, who's with Derrick White after tonight's big win.
That was going to be my first question. Baby Hendricks, did you take a nap with him today? How were you guys able to get off to that great start?
Yeah, I mean, he's sleeping during the day at least. But just wanted to come out with a good energy. I mean, we dropped last one. We knew this was a must win, so we came out with the right way, right attitude and effort, and got a big win for us.
Why was this so drastically different from Game 3? Can you put your finger on it?
I don't know. We got to figure it out. We got to handle wins better. Because obviously we handle losses really well. So someone with that sense of urgency, that right mindset, and try to get a big win here in Game 5.
That said, how special is this group when it comes to your resiliency and your ability to bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, done it all year. And, I mean, that's a big thing here in the playoffs. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, and just got to find a way to win games and come up with the right mindset. We're pretty good.
Defensively, I mean, even without Marcus Smart tonight, how good can you guys be?
Yeah, I mean, we got multiple guys that can guard multiple positions, and flew around, rebounded, and we're able to get a big win. And, I mean, that's what we hold our hat on, so we got to guard.
All right, I won't keep you anymore, Derrick. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
score from inside of TD Garden, 102-82, and fans are excited. They're pumped after this Game 4 win. The series now tied at 2 apiece between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics.